This is Ryan Abraham, Dan Weber, USCFootball.com, Instant Analysis, Game 1 here at Aloha Stadium in beautiful Hawaii. The game wasn't that beautiful, though, Dan. It was 30-13. USC got the victory. Lane Kiffin said they were 1-0. What did you think about what happened out there?
Well, I think I'm back in the SEC. Kind of, wasn't beautiful, pretty effective. Front seven, just like they've been, practicing. They played fast. They played aggressively. They hit that quarterback so many times I can't even imagine. 4 interceptions. They haven't had that in 8 years in a game. So flying around out there, they love it. The offense also probably played a little bit like they've practiced. 2 quarterbacks, not a lot of continuity, probably too many timeouts, false starts, just uncertainty. A couple of good things happened. I thought Justin Davis showed he's a really mature running back. Mike Summers, the offensive line coach, said he's more encouraged than maybe people think about that they did more good things than maybe we realize, and that it's a good thing, something to build on. So he wasn't discouraged. I thought they got, 2 pretty good efforts out of the running backs. Quarterbacks, Lane said he was surprised at the play. They thought we hadn't seen it, but he said Cody Kessler finished up last week with a couple of phenomenal days of practice, and he was expecting him to come out and have a really good game. And there just an awful lot of times there just wasn't anything there. I guess it was Max was saying that it just looked like Norm Chow really knew what was coming. I mean, there were plays where they had 3 defenders on a USC receiver, and 1 or 2 of them were defensive linemen. I mean, they seemed to know. I mean, there just wasn't much there in the pass game.
Well, we'll talk about the offense first, I guess you'd say. The offensive line, you got to talk to Mike Summers. From the sidelines, it didn't look like they were very physical. There was a couple plays where they got a push, but so much was happening behind the line of scrimmage. It didn't look like they were able to hold off that Hawaii front.
He thought, they were thinking a little too much. It was more of a, trying to make sure they got it right. He said they didn't, there were some recognition issues, and he said it was kind of a typical first game with young guys, and he thought it was not a bad first game. Didn't look like it. And he said, I can understand if people think it didn't look that good, but said it really wasn't as bad as it looked.
Same thing, I guess you could say on special teams. From the sideline, didn't look like it was that good. There was a bright point with Andre Hadari making a 52-yard field goal. There was a couple punts that didn't go so well, but I talked to John Baxter. He was pretty happy with the effort. They had a lot of freshmen playing. What did you think about the special teams?
Well, I thought the highlight for me was obviously Hadari's field goal. I guess they hadn't had one longer than that since 1990. So, I thought the kickoff coverage was impressive. I thought they really came down after people and really took them down. It didn't look like last year at all. From that standpoint, that was really a good thing. Punting, I think, Chris Alvarado was his first time out, and he got 164-yarder that they let roll, but that was kind of a line drive that, could have been a much shorter punt.
Yeah, kickoff coverage was good, and I think every kickoff was inside the 20, so they did a pretty good job with that. And, of course, the 52-yard field goal. Obviously, the star, though, if you're going to talk about the 3 units, was the defensive unit, and we thought there would be a lot of pressure. There was a lot of pressure. We got to see Jabari Ruffin come in when Morgan Breslin wasn't able to play. Some freshmen making some good plays. Sua Cravens with an interception early. What do you think about the defense?
Yeah, Sua was really excited. I mean, I think he said he can't wait to call mom and tell her, and he said she probably had a heart attack on that first interception. He was pretty pleased, I think, that he was able to step up, start and make a play right away. I think, with injuries to Anthony Brown and Kevon Seymour, there's some real questions at corner. And then getting beat deep on that last touchdown, that just should never happen in a million years. And so I think they've got some real issues to settle. 9 pretty solid spots, and then 2 they've really got to figure out what are we going to do at corner. Do you take another look at Josh Shaw? Maybe. Got a lot of safeties and can play.
Yeah. All right, and then one last thing, just on the quarterbacks before we let you go. No decision? Who's going to be the quarterback?
No, I mean, and here now you've had a whole game where whoever's going to eventually be the guy still played half the plays without being with the first team. So, that cohesiveness of a unit. And Lane said that's a good question because, you had a game, just like all the August practice, where whoever the starter is eventually didn't get to play half the game with the guys he's going to be playing them with. So, and are they no closer to where they, need to be? Maybe they're not any closer, and they got the first Pac-12 game coming up this week. So, they maybe need to get there, and maybe they haven't. It's probably, Lane keeps saying, yeah, I wish we had the guy, and I wish this would have worked out, but it hasn't. Now what do you do when things don't work out the way? What does the coach do? We don't know.
I guess we'll find out next weekend against Washington State. Not that we'll be able to watch practice and tell you who's starting at quarterback for that.
As it turns out, it wouldn't have done any good because we would have said Cody Kessler just was lights out this last week, which is why, and this is really puzzling. Lane said only last week was there any separation at all, and in the practices we didn't get to see, and so that means in the spring, the summer, and the fall, they didn't separate themselves even at all in Lane's mind. Go figure.
We could have added some numbers to Cody Kessler's QBR, I guess, if he had a really good week in practice. All right, well, we could go on for hours, but we're not going to. We've got to wrap it up here from Aloha Field. They're kicking us off the field. For Dan Weber, this is Ryan Abraham. Check out uscfootball.com for more.